Oh, I got music playing in the background. Here we go. In 2022, I made $21,000 in my business. But in 2023, I made $117,000 from posting content without any ads. And in this live, I'm going to show you the exact strategy that I use in order to scale significantly so that you can do. So that you can too. If you're a service provider or a coach and you're currently getting sales through word of mouth or referrals, and you want to learn how you can use social media to add an additional stream of income to your business, then stick around because this live is for you. This live is for coaches who are already at six figures in their business and you already have an audience on social media, but you're not really sure how to convert your followers into customers. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. This live is also for the ambitious business owner where you've built a successful business through word of mouth and referrals, and you want to know how can you use your video content to reach a larger audience without sounding salesy, without feeling icky, or without feeling slimy. Then this live is also for you because I'm going to be sharing with you the exact strategy that took my business from $21,000 to $117,000 in just 1 year. So thank you all so much for joining me. As you are coming in, feel free to double tap the screen. The more that you engage with this video, the more that social media will push it out. So if you're on TikTok, you can double tap the screen. If you are on Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube, you can like and comment so that more people can be invited into this live. Now, here's the thing. I really do love helping you, right? So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the chat and I will be happy to answer your questions. If you have questions about your content strategy, about creating videos that's going to reach your dream clients, then feel free to drop them in the chat and I will go ahead and answer them for you. I love teaching all my lives like they are master classes. So if you want, you can grab your notebook, grab your pen, take note, take action, and make some money. Why? Because action takers are money makers, not time wasters. We're going to be together today for about an hour. I'm going to be dropping a lot of gems that's going to transform your business right here on social media. So as you're coming in, hey, AI Intelligent Pavilion, thanks so much for joining me today. So as you're coming in, feel free to drop the name of your business in the chat or drop in the chat where you're tuning in from. I am in New York City. It is 9:04 in the morning. It is finally hot. Summer is finally here. But let me know where you are tuning in from. Or if you have a business, you can feel free to drop the name of your business in the chat. So who am I? I'm Shamara Star Cox, TV producer and marketing coach. My goal is to help 6 and 7 figure business owners create binge-worthy videos that gets you seen and gets you paid so that now you can show up on bigger stages, get access to high-profile podcasts, and reach a larger audience to make a bigger impact. And today, I'm going to show you how you can sell online without ads. So if you're running ads through TikTok, you're running ads through Facebook or anything like that, and you're not really seeing the traction that you desire, then this strategy is actually going to work for you. When I was able to grow my business from $21,000 to $117,000 in 1 year, it was all from posting video content. So I'm going to show you the exact strategy so that you can use it too. This is where you want to make sure that you grab your notebook and your pen so that you're taking notes. And then, of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I am happy to answer them and to help you. All right. It doesn't look like we have any business owners in the chat today. Excuse me, on the live today. But if you are a business owner, feel free to drop the name of your business in the chat so I can shout you out. If you're not a business owner and you just want to be motivated, feel free to stick around. That's okay too. But this live is going to benefit business owners, coaches, service providers, and entrepreneurs so that now you're reaching your audience online so that they can pay you because they want to work with you, right? So I'm going to be sharing with you the cash method so that you can actually turn your social media without paying for ads into a lead generating and revenue generating system online, right? So I want to share this story with you before I get into the tips, right? So I remember when I first started my strategy on social media, right? I was going live on TikTok. So I was just doing this for TikTok, right? And guess what? It took me 6 months to sell a 5K offer on social media. How many of you would have given up within those 6 months, right? So back in 22, I went live 2 times a week for at least 1 hour each day, right? So 2 times a week, 1 hour each day. So that's about 8 lives, right? 8 lives I would do for the month. And each time I would go live, I would make an offer to my audience, but they wouldn't buy from me, right? How many of you within month one, you would have been like, this ain't working. I'm just going to do something totally different, right? How many of you would have given up? Drop a me in the chat if that's you. But for me, I said, you know what? I'm going to keep going and I'm going to get better at what I do. So there I was in month one, I went live. And the first thing I wanted to learn was what should I teach my audience? So as I got better at teaching my audience, I went into month two. I wanted to know, okay, how do I speak to the mindset of my audience? How do I motivate my audience, right? So as I got better at doing that, I wanted to understand, how do I engage my audience? So how do I get them to write back to me? How do I get them to respond back to me? So I started to do that as well, right? We are 3 months in. And 3 months, I'm over here making offers to my audience and no one is buying. That's enough to be discouraged. How many of you right now, you're going live with your audience, you're posting videos, you're posting content, and you're not seeing the sales come in? And so you're thinking to yourself, man, social media just does not work for me. Right? That's where I was. But instead of me giving up, I decided I'm going to keep on going. In month four, there was a coaching program that I was part of. And my coach in the program told me, you should just give up because it's going to be really hard to get people from watching you live to actually paying you $5,000. Right? So that's what she told me in month four. How many of you would have given up? Now, at this point, my coach is telling me to give up. How many of you would have been like, you know what? Might as well give up because it's clearly not working. There are some of you working social media strategies right now, and you're ready to just give up because in your mind, it's hard to reach people. It's hard for them to respond back to you. You're not even sure how other people are making all this money online. So there I was in month four, and I said, you know what? I'm going to keep going because I'm determined. Month five, I go again, still no sales. And then finally, in month six, someone raises their hand and says, hey, I want to work with you. She books a call with me and then she invests the $5,000 into my coaching program. And I'm like, yes, victory. But guess what? It didn't stop there because after she bought, I booked a $6,000 client. And after that, I made $30,000 in 3 months just from going live with my audience, just from posting video content to my audience. And here is what I learned during that time, that social media is the easiest way to create a scalable, predictable pipeline for sales. Right? It is the easiest way to create a scalable, predictable pipeline for sales if you don't give up. When you're, if you don't give up, there are some of you right now where you are posting the content. You're posting the carousels, you're posting the stories, you're going live, you're posting the videos, and you're not seeing the results as of yet. But what I learned during that time is that this was my training ground. Me going live to my audience for 6 months without any sales was me training. I had to get better at what I do. And some of you are giving up because you just haven't hit your better yet. You're thinking, wow, that person was able to make 6 figures. That person was able to go viral, but you have no idea what their training ground was. Right. And so I want to tell you, don't give up yet, because the more you post, the better at it that you get. And here's the thing, when you are posting, you want to post with the purpose, and that purpose is profits. And when you're posting for profits, that means that you don't give up while you're posting. It only means that you get better at what you do. So if you keep on posting and stopping, you're not going to get the sales that you desire. You want to keep on posting and get better at what you do. But notice what I said. In month one, I wanted to understand, what is it that I need to teach that my audience would pay attention to me for? In month two, I wanted to know, how do I speak to their mind? In month three, I wanted to know, how do I get them to engage with me? How do I get them to write back to me? I was strategic each month. And remember, I was going live 8 times a month. So I was quickly learning and pivoting. Some of you are going live once every now and then. Some of you are going live once in a blue moon because you don't want to face the embarrassment of, what if no one shows up? So what if they don't show up? What if this is your training ground? What if this is your opportunity to get stronger at your messaging? Last year, I stopped going live for my audience and I pivoted my audience. So I decided to choose a new audience, but then I stopped going live. Guess what? It took me 2 times longer to sell my offers. Why? Because I couldn't test my messaging. Your live videos allow you to test your messaging to a live audience. You get to see how they respond to you in real time. Is my messaging working? Is it landing? Am I moving people to buy? When I was able to master that quickly, I was able to create this pipeline for sales. So, my question to you is, what is your scalable, predictable pipeline for sales? What are you doing on social media consistently that's actually bringing in the leads and the sales? Sometimes I get people in my program, and after 1 month, when they don't see results, they start getting worried. Like, oh my goodness, it's not working. It's not going to work yet. You have to keep putting in the work until it starts working for you. I used to work with Myron Golden, right? So he was one of my business coaches. And he says this, he says, all work works. It's either working on you or it's working for you. Okay. So everything that you're doing, it's working. It's either working on you, making you the person who can make the sales, making you the person, the business owner who could attract the people, or it's working for you, right? So until it starts working for you, it will be working on you. And it made me a better orator. It made me a better communicator. And it made me a better salesperson showing up. So my question to you is, what are you doing with your social media so that you can actually make an impact with your audience? Is your social media growing in a way that you want it to? And if it's not, is it because you keep on quitting? Or will you keep on going? What is it that you desire? Do you desire to make 6 figures from social media alone? Do you desire to scale to multiple 6 figures from social media? Because if so, it's time to create that pipeline for sales. And it's not going to create itself. It's only going to be created if you decide I'm going to show up. Yes, the gift strategist says it is focus time, right? Oh, one focus at a time, one focus at a time. Hey, Kwanda, I saw you pop in here too. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes, right? So today, what I want to do is I want to show you what this strategy is. This is the exact strategy that I put into place so that I can be able to scale my business from $21,000 to $117,000 in just 1 year. If you work the strategy and you keep on working it, guess what? You will see results. There are some of you where you have worked strategies in the past. You've only given it 3 months and then you've given up. You have worked strategies in the past. You've only tried it one time and then you have given up. But I'm telling you right now, it took me 6 months to be able to work this strategy and get the sales. And once the sales came in, it kept on coming in. It did not stop. It did not stop. Can somebody write that in the chat? It did not stop. Once you get one sale, it will keep on coming in. I got my first 5K client after 6 months of going live. And then I got a 6K client right after that. And then I started hitting 10K months for 3 months. I hit 10K months for 3 months. I made $30,000 in 3 months just from going live. And then it kept on going from that. So I want to be able to show you this same exact strategy. But if you're in here and you're like, oh my goodness, that is acceleration. It is acceleration because I put in the work and I started to understand this is what gets people to buy. Here's how I can show up. Here's how I can educate. And when I did that, it was golden from there. I want you to imagine your dream clients coming to you on social media every day, not just from word of mouth, not just from referrals. How would that shift your business? Now you have an additional income source from your social media, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on TikTok, whether you're on LinkedIn or YouTube, you now have another source of lead and revenue generating for you. How would that shift your business? Social media allows you to reach an audience you haven't even tapped into yet without taking your focus away from your current success. So if you're in here and you're like, I want that. I want to know, how can I reach my audience? How can I show up and be a blessing to them? Then go ahead and DM me the word challenge accepted. In this challenge, right? I want to invite you to this challenge. In this challenge, we show you how to to how to create content that sells in 5 days or less. I just told you it took me 6 months to make $5,000 on a live. And now I know what works and what doesn't work. And I want to be able to show you how to do that same exact thing in just 5 days. So if you're like, okay, that's what I want to be able to hit 30K months in just a few months, then go ahead and DM me the word challenge accepted, and I will personally send you an invite to the challenge. If you're on TikTok, there's an orange button at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Hit that button, drop your email address in there for me, and I will personally send you an invite to the challenge. If you're on Instagram or LinkedIn, you can just go ahead and shoot me a DM and I will send you an invite. If you are on YouTube, comment the word challenge accepted and I will send you an invite to the challenge. Now, when you send me the DM, make sure you also drop your email in there as well, because if you don't get my invite from the DM, I'll send you the invite via email as well. All right, so we're going to go into this. Again, I'm sharing a strategy with you on how to sell online without ads. That's the strategy. So if you're currently using ads and you're not seeing the results that you want to see yet, how about you try organic? Try organic. Because as I said before, I went from making $21,000 in my business in 2022 to making $117 in 2023, all from organic. I didn't pay for ads, right? Now, what you don't know is that in 2024, I started to pay for ads. I introduced ads into my business for 6 months. And in 6 months, after paying $1,800 a month for ads and the person who was running it, guess how much money I made? Possibly $300. Possibly. I don't even think we made that much. But when I was going live to my audience in the 6-month mark, I made $5,000. So you tell me which one's better. I spent $1,800 a month running Facebook ads and possibly made $300 in the 6 months. I didn't spend any money with organic. And in 6 months, I made $5,000. Oh, but it didn't stop there, because in the 7th month, I made another $6,000. That's $11,000 and not paying any money into ads. So if you're in here and you're like, I want to learn this strategy, I want to know what it is. This is where you want to grab your notebook. This is where you want to grab your pen, start taking some notes. After you take them notes, take some action, because I didn't just take notes. I also took action. What I recognized during my labor, during my time, was that action takers are money makers, not time wasters. There are some of you on here where you are an action taker, and so you'll be able to see the results quickly. But there are some of you on here where you're a procrastinator, and I'm not the one for you. That's okay. If you want to stay here and get motivated, you can. But if you're going to procrastinate, that means you're going to waste time and not actually make the money that is owed to you. There are some of you, you've been working social media for 3 months. You've been working it for 3 years and you haven't seen the results. Some of you are already successful. You hired a social media manager. You haven't seen these type of results. You hired a VA to post content on your behalf and you still haven't seen these type of results. You want to know why? Because you haven't worked with a social media marketeer. I'm not a social media manager. I am a marketeer, a marketing genius that actually helps you to fix the holes in your marketing so that when you're showing up on social media, you can actually reach your dream clients. See, when you work with a social media manager, they may not know marketing. And so all they're doing is just posting and they're trying to grow your following. You may be growing, but you're not seeing the sales. So I want to show you how you can actually get the sales without running ads. You don't have to do that. You also don't got to post 3 or 4 times a day, because that's exhausting, first of all. I don't know how many of you are under 25, but I am not. I'm 37, and posting 3 or 4 times a day is exhausting. So I want to show you how you can use this strategy just by posting 1 time a day, going live 2 times a week or 3 times a week, right? So let's go into it. This is the cash method. It's the cash method. I am going to coin it. So y'all are the first ones to hear it, right? Here's what it stands for: create, attract, shift, and handle. Create, attract, shift, and handle. That's what it stands for. That's the cash method. Yes, the gift strategist said, let me tell you, 38 with 6 kids in the background. Okay, honey. So that means this strategy will work for you, because you posting 3 or 4 times a day is not happening, not this year at least, right? So let's get into this. And again, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll be so happy to answer. But if you don't have questions, I'm going to teach you like you taking notes, okay? So, right, we're going into the cash method. The first strategy is create. Create binge-worthy videos. What kind of videos? Yes, binge-worthy videos, not just regular schmegula videos, because regular schmegula videos is going to get you regular schmegula clients, right? And who in here wants regular schmegula? I just like saying that word clearly, right? Yes, thank you so much, Kwanda. Thank you, the gift strategist, right? You don't want regular schmegula people. You want high-paying clients. And in order for you to get high paying clients, you got to create binge worthy videos that's going to get them to watch you over and over and over again. Why? Google had came out with this stat, right? They said 7-11-4. People have to research you 7 times. They have to engage with you or watch your content 11 times, or they have to see you on 4 platforms before they decide to buy from you. That's 7-11-4. That's a lot. That's a lot of touches. They got to make a lot of touches, a lot of connections with you before they choose to buy. But when someone is binging your content, you get to collapse that 7-11-4 into one time. That's it. Because they are binging you now and they can't stop watching you. So when you get your audience to binge, guess what's going to happen? They're going to buy. Why? Because we're already in a society where that is set up, that whatever you binge, you buy. How do I know? Well, I'm gonna just prove it to you. If you're up for a little game, all you got to do is type yes in the chat if this is you. Type yes in the chat if you have a Netflix account. I'm raising my hand because I have a Netflix account, right? So type yes in the chat if you have a Netflix account. Now I'll wait a little bit so I can see some of these yeses coming in. But if you have a Netflix account, type yes in the chat. Yep, I see some yeses that are coming in right now. My hand is raised because I do have one. Okay. Now type yes in the chat if you have a Hulu account. If you have a Hulu account, drop a yes in the chat. There we go. On Instagram, I see. Let me know if I'm saying your name right. Emprende. No, girl, you're gonna have to tell me your name. It sounds like it's Spanish. Emprende con. Please help me with your name, girl. Please help me with your name, right? Okay, so I see some more yeses in the chat. I see yes for Netflix. I see yes for Hulu. Give me another yes if you have a YouTube account or Amazon Prime account. If you have an Amazon Prime account, give me a yes in the chat. Chris, thank you, Chris. Right? Thank you, Chris. Right? Okay. If you got a Amazon Prime account, give me a yes in the chat. Some of you have an Apple Music account. Yep, I'm just calling them all out. Give me a yes in the chat. Right? So there are a lot of you who are writing yes. Some of you can't write yes, and you're like, yep, that's me. That's me all the way, right? So you have these platforms and you are binging them every month, not even every month. You're binging them every day and you're paying for them every month, right? So we're in a society where people are binging and buying, binging and buying. It's natural to us. So what I do is I show you how to create that same exact experience so that now you're taking your audience from just browsing to binging to buying. That's it. That's simple. You're tapping into the same energy that is already in this world. Netflix is totally fine charging every month and going up in their prices because they know that once you binge, you'll buy. I remember this is how Apple Music got me. Apple Music gave me 3 months for free because they knew once I binged, I was going to buy. And I certainly did. And Apple Music just went up in their pricing and I still buy because they already know whatever you binge, you buy. So when you create binge-worthy content, your audience now binges you. And now they want to buy. Now, let me give you an example because this actually happened with one of my clients. Her name is Natalie. And she is a business clarity coach and the gift strategist. She has 5 kids, just to let you know, right? She has 5 kids. She's like 40. She's 40. She with 5 kids. And she was able to use this strategy and she created binge-worthy videos. And she got a client who just binged her content and then went ahead and bought. That person did not book a discovery call. That person did not download a freebie. She went straight to the link in her bio and she bought her service. And then she said, I knew you were my coach because I was binging your content. I can't make this up. I can't make it up. I was like, that's what she said to you? She said, I knew you were my coach because I was binging your content. How many of you would love to create that experience for your audience where they are binging and buying, binging and buying, binging and buying? How many of you would love that? right? And now, instead of them just booking a discovery call, they're just going to your page and just buying from you. Now, some people will go ahead and binge and book the discovery call. We're not eliminating that. I'm just letting you know that there are people out here who will just buy from you just from watching your videos if you will just get them to binge. But if you do not know how to get them to binge, guess what? It's going to be a little bit hard for them to buy. So if you're in here and you're like, I want to know how to do that. How do I get my audience to binge my videos? Then go ahead and DM me the word challenge accepted, because the challenge is all about that. Our goal is to show you how to put out high quality video content so that you are attracting your dream clients. Why video content? Right? Because I'll get some people that are like, oh, but people learn all different types of ways. You should put out carousels. You should put out posts. You could if you want to, right? But the stats for video content is so high. I mean, here's one stat, and you tell me if this sounds good. People watching videos will retain the information 95% more than if they were reading something. I'm gonna say that one more time. People retain information 95% more than if they were reading something. So you're putting out a carousel and they're probably getting 5% of the information. But if you put out a video, they're getting 95% of it and they are retaining it. Does that sound like that you would do video over carousels? Yes. Okay, here's another stat. Video content is shared 1,200% more than anything that's written. Okay? 1,200% more. And I'm going to prove it to you. When was the last time someone forwarded you an email? They were like, oh, I really like this email. Let me send it to you. When was the last time that happened? For me, probably never. Probably never. Or maybe one time, right? But when was the last time someone forwarded you a video? Probably right now when you were on this live. Especially, I saw some of you sharing the live out. Thank you so much for that. But you're even proving my point that video content is shared 1,200% more than anything that's written. So whenever we're teaching you how to do video content, because that is the thing that people are consuming and they are retaining, and it makes it a lot easier for them to buy. So if you're in here and you're like, I need that in my life, Star, help me, because I have been listening to this guru. I've been listening to that guru, and it's been good. You're getting some of the stuff, but your marketing still has holes in it. And the biggest hole is that you haven't learned how to double down on creating binge-worthy videos to get your audience to binge and trust you and buy. So if you're in here like, that's me, I need that, then DM me the word challenge accepted, and I'll send you an invite to the challenge. But here's the thing, don't wait. Because some of you've been hearing me promote this challenge all week, and you're like, okay, I'm going to just wait till the last minute. You could do that, but we have some bonuses that expire before the last minute. One of the bonuses that we have, if you're one of the first 5 people to sign up for the VIP experience, you get invited to an early access mixer. This mixer is a party, so we get to party and dance, but I get to meet you personally and learn more about your business. My goal in the mixer is to help you gain momentum with posting your video content so that when you get to the challenge, guess what? You can start posting and seeing results. If you miss that mixer, when you get to the challenge, you'll be learning everything from scratch, right? So that is the first 5 people to sign up. On top of that, for those of you who love exclusivity, that is your opportunity to just be in an intimate circle with me as your coach, right? Everyone won't be able to get access to that. If you're number 6 to sign up, you won't get access. You'll still be part of VIP, but you won't get access to the mixer. So if you're like, I want to be part of that mixer, I want to know what secret strategy Star wants to teach me so I can take off running in the challenge, DM me the word challenge accepted, and I'll personally send you an invite to the challenge. If you are on if you're on YouTube, all you have to do is comment the word challenge accepted, and I'll send you an invite to the challenge. Hey, Jason, how you doing? Thanks so much for joining. All right, so we got the first strategy, which was C, create binge-worthy videos. And I gave you an example of my client, Natalie, who was able to do this, and her client binged and bought. That's it, binged and bought. There was no in between. She just binged and she bought. So let me give you the next strategy, right? So this is the cash method. The first one is to create binge-worthy videos. The second one is A, and this is the one that y'all gonna love. A, attract leads with valuable lives. One more time, attract leads with valuable lives. What do I mean by that? You wanna go live. Go live. Why? Because your videos, the binge-worthy videos, is just so that you can grow your following. The next step in a strategy is to actually go live with your audience because you can actually build a deeper relationship if they just show up to your live videos. Your live videos are much longer than a 30-second video. It's much longer than a 1-minute video. 30-second videos and 1-minute videos. I want you to think of this like it's the appetizer, right? So the reels and the TikToks that you're putting out, the short form content that you're putting out, the YouTube shorts that you're putting out, that's the appetizer. Barely anyone gets full off the appetizer. Typically, when you go to a restaurant, you may order the appetizer and then it can just like satisfy you just for a little bit. But if you really want to experience the restaurant, you're going for the entree. And that's what the live video is. Your live video is the entree. And so now, after you whet their appetite with the reel, the TikTok, or the shorts, the next step is to actually go live so that you can be able to bless them. When you are educating them, what is it that you need to teach to get them to buy? Some of you are going live and you're just talking. You're just talking about anything. And you're wondering why they're not buying. And it's because you're not teaching the thing that they want to buy, right? So you really got to understand, what should I teach that will get them to buy? That's the one thing. The next thing in your live videos is to be able to address the mindset. Why? Because many of your people, when they're coming to you, their issue isn't just strategy. Their issue is that they're in their own way and they gotta get out of it. There are a lot of people, and I want you to say this with me. There are a lot of people who are watching you that want to pay you. There are a lot of people, they are watching you and they want to pay you. But the reason why they haven't paid you yet is because they keep wondering, will this work for me? Will I really be able to do this? And when you're live, you can address the limiting belief. You can overcome the objection. And it's in real time. So they can really see you and really feel your energy through your video. Right? So now when you're doing that, it makes it so much easier for you to make the sale, to invite them to join you wherever the next step is. Because if you go live and you never invite them to the next step, how do you expect them to buy? The ABCs of social selling, if you're taking notes, you want to write this down. The ABCs of social selling is ABC, always be converting. Always be converting. If you show up on social media and all you want to do is inspire, 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 you are violating the social selling rule because you should always be converting. Now, here's the thing. Some of you heard me say that, and then you felt bad because you were like, oh, but I don't get sales every day. I don't get sales every day either. Y'all remember the story I told you when I said it took me 6 months to get a 5K client, but it was worth it though. Because at the end of the 6 months, I got the 5K client, but then I also got a 6K client. So that 6 months of working paid off because I made $11,000 within a month. Okay? So sometimes you won't get sales every day, but you may get leads every day. And then you will be able to convert those leads if you have a system to convert, if you have a system to nurture and convert. So again, the ABCs of social selling, ABC, always be converting. Whatever content you put out, whenever you go live, you want to make sure that you're doing it in a way that converts. Now, some of you are thinking, okay, but does conversion only mean money? No, it doesn't only mean money. There are 3 ways to convert on social media. The first way is to get that person who's viewing your content to follow you. That's the first conversion. Thank you. Yep, the gift strategist said, no, it doesn't. Right? The first conversion is to get them from a viewer to a follower. That's the first conversion. The second conversion is to get them from a follower to a buyer. That's the second conversion. The third conversion, and some of you haven't thought about this yet, the third conversion is to get a viewer to be a partner. To be a partner. All 3 of these conversions is what's going to grow your business and scale you to the next level. So if you are at 10K months right now and you want to get to 20K and 30K months, what's going to help you is actually having partnerships, doing collaborations with people who have the same audience as you, but they're teaching something different from you. Right? This is what took my business to the next level when I wanted to scale past 100K months. That was so prophetic, y'all. I haven't even hit 100K months yet, but clearly my body's like, that's what we're after. Okay. But doing those partnerships really does help. Why? Because some of you are a victim to the algorithm. You were thriving in 1 month, then the algorithm started acting up and you are no longer thriving. And in order for you to keep on thriving so that you can still reach new audiences is to have partnerships. Because of the partnerships that I was able to make on social media, I was able to get a paid speaking engagement internationally, mind you. I was able to speak into masterminds. I was able to go on people's podcasts, all because I'm doing partnerships, right? Now, I'm not going to teach you that. We teach you that in the challenge so that your marketing strategy can be well-rounded. Y'all remember, this just came to me, right? Did anyone used to watch ABC or even the CW? Let me do ABC because ABC is probably the biggest one. But does anyone used to watch ABC when they used to have Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder, but they would do the crossovers? Did anyone ever used to watch that? I never seen the crossover. I'm accustomed to the CW doing that, right? With the Flash and the Arrow and DC Legends, and they will all just do a big crossover, right? But do you remember that? They would do those crossovers? That's what a partnership is. They were doing that on purpose because they knew if we did a crossover that we get to reach more people. We get to reach the Scandal lovers and we get to reach the How to Get Away with Murder lovers. And now we can connect the audience to increase our ratings, right? So these strategies ain't new. We've been doing it in television for a very long time. I don't think I told y'all, but I'm a TV producer, right? So I know what these strategies are. And in social media, like the social media gurus, they're just now starting to implement it. But television has been doing it for a very long time because it works, right? So again, I digress just a little bit. But again, the ABCs of social selling, always be converting. 3 ways to convert: viewer to follower, follower to buyer, follower to partner. Right? And when you are doing that, you are now able to increase your leads and your revenue to cross over into new audiences. But if you don't know how to do that, what you find yourself doing is hopping on this trend here and there. You're watching other people's videos and you're like, oh, I could talk about that topic. You talk about the topic, but then it doesn't reach your audience. You're still getting 100 views. You're still getting 200 views, and you don't know why it's not working. Some of you are already accustomed to getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and that feels good. You can sell one-on-one. You already know that when someone refers people to you, you can close that deal. But when it comes to selling one-to-many on video, it feels awkward because you can't see the people. You can't even pick up on their energy. So in your mind, you're like, oh, this is a little bit hard. Your expertise one-on-one or in person is not translating on video. So it's making it hard for you to be able to reach that audience, even though you are the expert. In the challenge, we show you how to shift that so that now you are showing up and reaching your audience and they can clearly hear how you can help them. Because ultimately, that's what marketing is. See, some of you didn't realize this, but marketing is just clearly communicating to people how you can help them. And in your videos, if you're not doing that, if you're having a difficult time doing that, then that's the reason why your leads on social media is so small and your sales on social media is so small. And it's easy for you to give up in month 1 and month 2 because in your mind, it's not working. But if you just double down on your marketing and understanding, how do I communicate to my audience that I am the best person to help them, then you will see a significant shift in your business. Thank you, Jason. Jason says, that's why I'm hoping to interview you on my web show. Oh, thanks, Jason. I'm actually going to respond back to your message, so I'll let you know. Awesome. All right. Who's learning something right now? If you're learning something right now, drop a I'm blessed in the chat so I can see, but drop a I'm blessed in the chat so I can see if you are learning something right now. We are talking about how to sell online without ads. Thank you. The gift strategist said, I am blessed. Awesome. How to sell online without ads. So you don't got to pay for Facebook ads. You don't got to pay for TikTok ads. You don't got to pay for LinkedIn ads or YouTube ads. right? Instead, you can use your organic content. Organic means that it's not paid for. It's just you showing up and so that you can actually reach your audience. Hey, Alarise, how you doing, honey? I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, and I'm teaching you the cash method, right? The cash method helps you to bring in cash. So the C again stands for create binge-worthy videos. The A stands for attract leads with valuable lives. I want to share this with you. I have a former client. Her name is Christiana. She has a luxury wedding business, right? And that business took off. She was able to build that business on word of mouth, on referrals, in-person networking events. She was successful, honey. But then she wanted to start a new business. She wanted to be a business coach where she helps business owners to be able to build to 6 figures or more. And she wanted to do it online. But when she was showing up on TikTok, her audience wasn't paying her any attention. That's where some of you are right now. You want to show up, you want to make an impact, but your audience is barely seeing you, right? So that's where she was. I shared this live strategy with her, and guess how many clients she got from going live in one sitting? 10 new clients. 10 new clients. And she's selling high ticket, honey. 10 new clients. So I think her offer at that time was $597. So that's about $600 times 10 people. That's $6,000 that she was able to make from her live video. So when I say the strategy works, it works, honey, but you got to be ready to work it. There are some of you right now, and I'm going to give you the S. There are some of you right now where you need to shift your belief that's blocking your sale. Shift your belief that's blocking your sale. Because I'm telling you right now, it worked. You can check out their pages if you want to. You can reach out to them if you want to, from my clients who was able to see the success. But in your mind, you're convincing yourself, I'm not ready yet. I don't want to come off salesy. Who am I to talk about this? Even though you're the one with extensive experience. You've got 15 years in the field, you've got 20 years in the field, and you allow imposter syndrome to stop you from showing up online. There are some of you where you're getting stuck because you know that if you post the content and if you go live, you're about to reach thousands upon thousands of people, and you're not ready for that exposure yet. You like your quiet life. You like your private life. And so what do? You play small. You play small because in your mind, I only have the capacity to reach 100 people. Because you think if you start reaching thousands upon thousands of people, you're going to lose your privacy. People are going to be into your life. But there's a way to show up online and be a blessing and still be private. That's how I am. I am a very private person. People wouldn't know that by the way that I'm posting, but this isn't a reality show. You don't got to show your entire life. You just got to show the parts of you that's going to bless your audience and create a deep connection with them. And oftentimes that is just you showing your values. What do you value? What is your faith like? What is your philosophy? If you do that, people will connect with you. When I first started showing up, I was just putting out content. But when I started posting about my faith, that's when the sales started really rolling in. Why? Because it turns out that a lot of people who are attracted to my message, they know the Bible. Notice I didn't say that they're Christian. I just said they know the Bible. I have worked with Muslims. I've worked with atheists. I've worked with agnostic. I've worked with Christians. And they all have something in common, that they know the Bible. They may not know it back and front, but some part of them have gone to church. A family member has gone to church. What does that tell me? That there is a large part of this market that actually understands the Bible. So when I talk about it, their ears perk up. They can hear it. And now when they come to me, they're like, wait a second, there's something different about you. I want to buy from you. And that was all because I showed up with my values and my faith. In the same way, I've turned away people that went against my faith. Not the people, excuse me. I turned away people who sold things that went against my faith. I had someone where they wanted to work with me, but they were selling crystal amplifiers. They even paid to join my program. And I said, oh, as much as I love your personality, I won't be able to work with you. If you're a psychic, I can't work with you. That goes against my faith. And do you know that did not slow down my business? Actually, it skyrocketed even more. because I'm standing on my values and what I believe. You do not have to compromise your values just to get sales. It's your authenticity that's going to attract your people anyway. But if you keep standing in your own way, if you do not shift your belief, you will constantly block your sales. I get in my program, my clients reach out to me directly. When they're in the middle of a sale, they'll reach out to me and say, how do I overcome this objection? Talk about training. There are some of you in here where you don't know how to overcome objections in your videos, in your content, in your DMs. And that's the reason why you're not seeing the sales come in the way you want to. Someone tells you, I can't afford, and automatically you're like, okay, well, that's it. Someone tells you, I don't have time for that. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, that's it. They don't got time, because you don't want to be pushy. You don't want to force them. You don't want to feel like you're convincing them. But that's a mindset. You don't have to convince the person who wants to be transformed. When Jesus showed up, he didn't do a lot of convincing. All he did was show them, here's how I can help you. He helped them get quick results by performing miracles, healing the sick, raising the dead. He even taught them stuff. And then he told them, follow me, for I will make you fishers of men. Take up your cross and follow me. And guess what they did? They followed him. He didn't have to convince them. He didn't have to strong arm anyone. But if you keep telling yourself that I'm convincing and I'm strong arming and I'm pushing and it feels icky, you won't ever really help people. You won't ever really help people. I remember listening to Robert Kiyosaki. He's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he was talking about how this lady, she loved his book. She was interviewing him. So she was a host where she interviews people. She was interviewing him and she said, oh my goodness, how did you end up being the best-selling author? Right? That's what I want to do for my life. And he said to her, you got to learn how to sell. And she was utterly offended. I got to learn how to sell. My writing should be enough. That's where some of you are. My speaking should be enough. My program should be enough. You got to learn how to sell, honey. And so he stopped and he pointed to his book and he said, what does that say? And she read it out loud. Best-selling author. It didn't say best author. When people are ending up on a New York Times, they're ending up on there as the best-selling author. So even if you're an author, you got to learn how to sell, honey. And selling is a skill. It is something that you can learn and it is something that you can perfect. But if you keep staying stuck in, oh, I don't know if I can really help them. I don't know. I sound salesy. Oh, I'm afraid that they're going to judge me. You'll never show up to do the thing that you need to do. And so I want to give you an example. One of my former clients, she joined the challenge. Her name is Shanice. She's a relationship coach. I think she's shifted since then. And when she was showing up online, she was getting the following and the engagement, but she wasn't getting the sales. And in the challenge, she couldn't wait for us to get to the sale part. Day 4 is when we teach the sales, by the way. It's a 5-day challenge. And each day, days 1 through 3, is to prepare you for the sale. Why? Because you got to put out a certain type of content that leads your audience to sale. So that's what we teach you in the first 3 days. On day 4, it's time to sell, baby, sell, sell, baby, sell. And we taught her the sales strategy for her videos. And when it came time for her to launch that video, you know what happened? She froze. She froze. She didn't sell. And when she came back to us and we asked her, honey, what happened? You know what she said? She said, something inside of me was telling me, don't do it. It was some trauma from when she was a kid that was coming back in that moment. How interesting that trauma from when she was a child was showing up when she was ready to sell. Could it be that you not wanting to sound salesy, feel slimy, or feel icky is trauma from when you were a kid that's showing up? And when you were a kid, it was because you got rejected. As an adult, it's coming off slimy and icky because you don't want to be rejected. And that's what was happening with her. And that's what we had to address in the challenge so that she could actually sell to her audience. Isn't it very interesting that when you're working a 9-to-5, your corporate job, you don't got to worry about childhood trauma because you already have a security check coming in every week. You have someone who's on top of you who's telling you what to do. You don't really got to do too much. But now when you're working your own business, because your business is an extension of you, this is your baby. It's your creativity. If someone says no, all of a sudden, all your trauma starts popping up because if they say no to me, they're really rejecting me. And we got to help you get out of that. Why? Because there are thousands of people who are waiting for you. I can see some of you, you've been getting visions of being on stages. Camera flashes flashing while you're speaking, and the crowd is going crazy for your philosophies, for your frameworks. You've seen those visions, and you don't know how you get there, but you know that you're supposed to be there. It starts right here on social media, but if you keep playing small, it's going to be hard for you to get there. Some of you should be interviewed on high-profile podcasts and radio shows. I see one of you on here, two of you, who should be on the Breakfast Club right now. And you're wondering, how do I get there? It starts right here on social media. There are people who have started social media pages and was able to get record deals because they grew their following. They grew their influence. There were people who were able to get book deals because they understood, here's how I can sell to my audience. You keep trying to make your big dreams happen without influence. It's going to take longer. We are no longer in a society where you can just be knocking on doors. I mean, that may happen, but it's going to take longer. Now, the easiest and fastest way to do it is to grow your influence so that when you tell them, hey, I'm ready for this book deal, they can see your follower count, and not just your follower count. They can see your conversion rate and say, we want to work with you. Because in all actuality, they need you. The publishing companies need you. Those conferences need you. Why? Because they want to leverage your audience. But if you keep playing small and telling yourself, social media is not for me, my audience is not on TikTok, LinkedIn is too hard, YouTube is too hard, you're never going to show up and be a blessing to your audience. Now, my question to you is, are you willing to pay that cost? You're probably asking yourself right now, what cost, Star? The cost of not being a blessing to your audience, the cost of not setting them free. Some of you, your business, you started to heal people. Some of you, your business, you started to help people make generational wealth. Some of you, your business, you started to help people have better relationships. But what if they never find you? What if they never see your content? What if they never work with you? Will you still be able to make that impact? No. But are you willing to pay that cost? Some of you started your business because you got tired of working in corporate and you want to be able to take care of your family and you want to be able to retire young. That's what's on the line every time people don't find you, every time you don't show up. Are you willing to pay that cost? I know I'm not. When I started my business, I didn't even want to. I was perfectly fine working in television as a TV producer. My goal was to be the CEO of NBC. That was my goal. And then God called me to quit my job. Actually, he more than called me to quit my job. He told me, I have closed the door for you on this. And by this, he meant my career. He closed the door for me on my career. So it didn't matter how many jobs I applied to. They weren't hiring me. It didn't matter how many interviews I went to. They weren't hiring me. And it didn't matter how many people lowballed me. They weren't going to pay me my worth because God already told me I closed the door to this. I only had one route, and that was to go this route, start my business. Now, for me, when I quit my job, I only had $8,000 in my bank account. I had a poverty mindset and a money block, and I was afraid of everything. Well, at that time, I overcame my fear of the dark, but I was afraid to go to sleep sometime. I was afraid to walk outside. I was afraid to talk to people. I was afraid to go live. I was afraid of all the things, you name it, I was afraid of it. But I had to stop playing small to become the person that God has called me to be, just so that I can be on this live today on June 12th to tell you it's your turn. It's your turn. But imagine if I never showed up. If I never showed up, will you be this blessed from this live video? No. You may have watched somebody else's video, but they wouldn't have this exact message. God knows what he's doing. And if I played small, you all wouldn't be blessed. If I never showed up, my clients would not have gotten the results that they desired. They would still be stuck. But because I said yes, and I said by any means necessary, they were blessed. And here's the thing. When people feel blessed, they invest. So there's a lot of you where you're leaving a lot of money on the table, all because you refuse to show up because you're still playing small. You're hiding behind carousels. You're hiding behind your podcast. I said it. You're hiding. And it's time for you to be seen because it's time for you to get paid. And it's time for you to make a bigger impact. But you won't make a bigger impact if you keep only relying on word of mouth and referrals. There's nothing wrong with word of mouth and referrals. It's what got you to where you are right now. But it's time for you to move on and get to bigger. Thank you. The gift strategist wrote it in the chat. Hashtag bigger. It's time for bigger, better, greater. And if you're like, that's me, I want to get out my own way, I want to stop playing small, then DM me the word challenge accepted and send me your email address as well. So I can personally send you an invite to the challenge where we show you how to show up and confidently sell to your audience through video. No, I promise we will not share with you trending audio. We will not show you how to post 3 or 4 times a day. It don't work anyway. But what we will show you is how to tell stories that deeply connects with your audience. What we will show you is how to sell to your audience without feeling slimy or icky. And we will show you how to create content that you get to show up as the authority and not feel silly or embarrassed while you're doing it. If you're like, that's for me, that's what I want, DM me the word challenge accepted. If you're on Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn. If you're on YouTube, comment the word challenge accepted, and I'll personally send you an invite. Now, here's the thing. There's some bonuses on the line. If you don't care about bonuses, that's fine. Take your time. But if you want to be one of the first 5 people in our VIP mixer, then you want to sign up for VIP. That's the first 5 people to do that. If you're number 6 or 7, you don't get this access. This access is me and you together in this small setting. And I'm going to share with you a visibility strategy for high ticket sales. That's my goal. I specialize in teaching you how to sell high ticket. Why? Because it's a lot better to make $10,000 in one day than for you to make $100 selling a $10 item to 10 people. It's just a lot better. I've been through it. So I show you this VIP, this visibility strategy for high ticket sales in this early mixer. We also have another level. So we have VIP and we have diamond experience. For those of you who are like, I don't just want the challenge, I want a one-on-one with you, Star, because today on this live, you blessed my soul. You spoke right into my business. You knew exactly what my problem was. How do I fix it now? If you actually select the diamond experience for the challenge, then you'll get a complimentary elite marketing strategy with me. The goal in that strategy is to show you what you need to post to get your sales, what you need to post to grow your following. That's what the goal is in that strategy session. But it's only for people who sign up for the diamond experience. The diamond experience is only for the business owners and entrepreneurs where you recognize, I want exclusivity. I want one-on-one. If you don't value one-on-one, that's not going to work for you. Right? So that's a diamond experience. All right. So I'm giving you the cash method so you can sell online without ads. The C stands for create binge-worthy videos. The A stands for attract leads with your live. And the S stands for shift your belief so that you can shift your belief that blocks you from selling. And the H, this is the last one, y'all. The H stands for handle the sales in the DMs. Okay. Handle the sales in the DMs. If you're posting content, but you're never starting conversations in the DMs, then you only have half of the strategy. The first, actually, I should say a third of the strategy. 1/3 of the strategy is to post your binge-worthy videos. The second third of the strategy is to go live. And the third of the strategy is to slide in the DMs and have conversations. Now, how many of you just said to yourself, slide in the DMs? I don't want to do that. I feel like I'm talking to a stranger. Oh, I don't know how to make the conversations authentic. I know, I get it. We all go through it. But this is a natural next step. Do you know that one of my first clients that paid me $5K, she was actually my 3rd or 4th client, happened because she watched my live video and then I slid in her DMs afterwards? She did not feel like I was trying to get something from her. It was a natural next step because she wanted what I had to offer. But she didn't want to reach out to me. There are some people where they're watching you. They just keep on watching you. They've been watching you for months and they won't reach out because something keeps coming up or they think you're too busy. Now, what a huge difference if you just slide in their DMs and say, hey, I saw that you engaged with my video. Would love to know why it stood out to you or how it stood out to you. What do you think would happen after that? They'll have a conversation back. Do you know that we live in a world where people are craving relationship? They are craving conversations. I went through a phase in my life where I needed to make new friends. I was in a dark season last year. Hey, Black Pilots Code, thanks so much for passing through. I was in a dark season last year and I wasn't hitting my goals in my business. I barely wanted to get out of bed some days. I was still getting up, but it was hard. And when I looked around my inner circle, I said, oh no, I need to change my circle. The people that I was surrounded by had a similar mindset to me, and it was a negative mindset. So what did I do? I prayed for friends. I said, Lord, you need to send me some new people. My next step, I joined programs. I joined a membership that I paid for, mind you. Because some of you don't want to pay for memberships because you think you're paying for friends. Who cares? Everyone does it. It's normal to join networking events and clubs to meet people. So I joined a membership. Guess what? I walked away with a new inner circle. Another thing, I don't know if my girl's still on here, but my friend Kwanda, we met all because she watched my live video and I slid in her DMs. Turned out we were doing the same thing. And I said, oh, let's go live together. We went live together. We liked each other. We decided, let's be friends. You can network online. You don't have to feel like, oh my goodness, this is weird. It's not weird. You stop making it weird. You're the one making it weird. Conversations is a natural part of life. It's the only way to build a relationship. If you're not having conversations, you're not building relationship, right? So I make best friends online. Shoot, one day I'll probably meet my husband online. Yeah, I said it. Maybe he'll slide in my DMs. We'll find out. But conversations is a natural way for you to build relationship. So if all you're doing is posting video and going live, it's going to be hard to convert. You can convert, right? For me, I get people where they just buy while I'm on my live, which was great. But the bulk of our sales was coming from actually having conversation in the DMs. Okay, Dolly's Deal says, I've been watching you for a couple of years because I enjoy your energy. You go, girl. Thank you so much, Dolly's Deals. I love that, right? So again, handle the sales in the DMs. Have natural conversations that lead to sales. I had a client one time where she was great at getting people on her live. She was great at having conversations with her audience, but she did not want to slide in their DMs. She just felt like, no, I just want them to buy. Some people need the extra nudge. And it was hard for her to convert because she wouldn't slide in the DMs. Now, I'm not talking about cold DM marketing. Cold DM marketing is weird. I've tried it before, and honestly, it's hard. There are some people who specialize in it. I am not one of those people. That's fine. I'm talking about warm DMs. These are people who have seen your content, engaged with your content, watch your live videos, and you sliding in their DMs is just another extension of how social media works. That's it. But if you don't know how to have a DM conversation that can naturally move into the sales, then join us in the challenge, because that's exactly what we teach you, how you can have natural conversations with your audience without feeling icky or slimy. Because I want you to think about this. The more you keep telling yourself, oh, I don't want to DM anyone, I don't want to reach out in the DMs, the more you're holding yourself back. But what if you tried the strategy and made $1,000 in your DMs? Would that shift your energy? Would that shift your business? Would you now be thinking, wait a second, this works, right? Sometimes you don't want to do it because you haven't seen the result yet, but the results are massive. And you don't have to do it in a way where you feel inauthentic. These are natural conversations that just lead to sale. So if you're in here and you're like, I want to join the challenge, this is exactly what's going to help me. I want to walk you through the 5 P's to prosperity on social media. These 5 P's is exactly what we teach you in the challenge, so that now when you leave the challenge, you actually can create content that sells. Day 1, we show you how to position your brand. This is so important, because if you are not positioned in a way for you to attract your audience, guess what? They're not going to find you. Some of you have told me, I'll join the challenge after I find my audience, but you're looking for your audience and they're looking for you and you're missing each other. What if you position yourself and you call them to you? This is a strategy that I learned from Jesus. He went town to town, not door to door. He went town to town, positioned himself in one spot, and he called his people to him. And they came. So you can do the same thing. Day 2, we show you how to package your message in your videos with the power of storytelling. Why? Because stories are the best way to build relationship. Some of you, you're telling stories, but you're not telling stories that lead to sales. And that's what we show you, how to tell stories that lead to sales. Hi, Amanda, honey. How you doing? Because if you're telling stories that don't lead to sales, all you're doing is inspiring your audience. And that's the reason why you're not seeing the results that you want to see. Because the goal is to tell stories that actually lead to sales. Day 3, we show you how to produce a 6-figure content strategy. Why? Because if you're already making 6 figures in your business, imagine that you can make 6 figures now from social media. Now you have a multiple 6-figure business because you're doing word of mouth and referrals and you're doing social media, right? But in order for you to be able to do this, you got to know what the strategy is. So that's what we show you, a 6-figure content strategy that is guaranteed to get you sales if you work the strategy. Day 4 of the challenge, we show you how to present your offers in your videos. What do I mean by that? We show you how to sell without sounding salesy, how to make an offer, how to do it naturally so that your audience would want to buy from you because they're waiting to buy from you. There are some people, they don't even know what you're selling yet. Doesn't matter that you have it in your bio. Doesn't matter that you told them to buy. They have no idea how it helps. And so when we show you how to do this in your videos, you're going to be like, oh, now I get it, to bring in the sales. And then day 5, we show you how to profit from your videos. Why? Because the goal is for you to hit consistent 5-figure months. There are some of you where you're still stuck at 3-figure months from social media. You're probably making 100 here, 300 here. Maybe you've made 1,000. But the goal is to move you to 20K months, 30K months, 50K months. And that's not going to happen if you don't know how to profit from your videos. So if you just heard me mention those 5 P's and you don't have any of those P's in your marketing strategy, DM me the word challenge accepted. Join us in the Convert Content to Cash challenge so we can help you to fix your marketing so that now you're showing up as the best for your clients, for your audience. You're showing up and your social media now becomes a lead generating and revenue generating system for you, right? Again, we have 2 levels, the VIP experience and the diamond experience. In the VIP experience, you get to join us for a Q&A every day of the challenge. That's actually VIP and diamond experience. So the challenge is for 5 days and it's 2 hours each day, right? And during that time, you get to ask us questions during the Q&A portion. That Q&A portion is what allowed Christina to get 30 leads in one day from one video, all because she asked one question. That Q&A allowed Erica to make $750 in 3 days because she asked one question. That same Q&A helped Marianne to get 60,000 leads, all because she asked one question. Some of you, you are one question away from exploding your business on social media. But the only way you'll know what question that is if you join us in the VIP experience or even the diamond experience. The diamond experience, you get everything from VIP plus a one-on-one elite strategy session with me. It's 30 minutes and it's only open to our diamond experience members. In that elite strategy session, we get to work on clarifying your dream client so that you are speaking to them in your videos, and I give you a content strategy to work before the challenge starts. There are some of you where you want to wait until July when the challenge starts, but you can actually get started with the challenge right now if you join us today. Today is July 12th. So you got 3 weeks to work the strategy that I'm going to give you if you sign up for the Diamond Experience so that by the time you join the challenge, you take off running. When you post your videos, you can see the leads coming in. But again, VIP and Diamond is only for the business owners, the coaches, and the service providers where you value exclusive access to your coach, where you value being able to ask questions and where you value someone being able to walk you through the strategy. There's a lot of you on here where you're accustomed to getting information, but you need help with the implementation so that you can experience your transformation. In the challenge, it's all about implementing. I don't like teaching anything where all you do is get informed. That's robbing you of actually seeing results in the challenge. So we show you how to do it and then we walk you through it so that now you can see the results. When I brag about these results, it's because we helped our clients to achieve it in the challenge in just 5 days. So if you're like, that's what I want, DM me the word challenge accepted. Send me your email address as well, and I'll personally send you an invite. If you're on YouTube, comment the word challenge accepted, and I'll personally send you an invite to the challenge. So that's what I have for you today. We talked about how to sell online without ads. I gave you the cash method. The C stands for create binge-worthy videos. The A stands for attract leads with valuable lives. The S stands for shift beliefs that block your sales. And then the H stands for handle the sale in the DMs. I'll be back again on Tuesday. And the next live I'm doing is Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern that says why figuring it out alone is costing you sales. Why figuring it out alone is costing you sales. I only go live Tuesdays through Thursdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So feel free to RSVP when you see the lives go out. I'll see you on Tuesday.